MyFantasySportsTalk.com.
Let's stay out west and answer a question from Linda. 49ers, baby. What do you think about the 49ers will do with the number 2 overall pick? Draft, trade, who, what, where, when, why, please, baby. So, Dan, I'm going to go to our draft guru and expert. What are the 49ers looking to do with that number 2 pick?
Yeah, I mean, I've been hearing a lot of talk about them possibly trading down, accruing some picks. I mean, that's a roster depleted of talent, and with the new GM and John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan, head coach coming in, they're going to want to get their own guys. So if they can trade that number 2 pick for a haul, like you saw Tennessee grab last year in Cleveland and different teams over the past few years, trade those high draft picks and get a haul of picks in return. So if they can do that, I see them trading down. But if they stick with that number 2 pick, I like a guy like Solomon Thomas, a defensive end out of Stanford. Before I even, kind of predicted him to possibly go to the 49ers in my draft profile that I did on him, he's a hybrid defensive end. He can fit in a 3-4-4-3 scheme, which is nice, that versatility. But he's a beast. His game film is fun to watch. But I comped him to Justin Smith, who was a 49er legend, really. I mean, he's beloved in 49er Nation, so I'm sure if they can draft someone similar to that who can give them that type of production, they definitely wouldn't mind having him as their anchor of that defensive line.
So you look at the top 5 or 6, 7, 8 picks or so of what's projected in the NFL draft. Of course, you got Solomon Thomas, which I guess I'm assuming he's definitely the number 2 asset behind Myles Garrett. Is that right, Dan? Is he clearly a number 2?
Yeah, I mean,
of the team?
It's definitely looking that way. I have him as my number 2 defensive end. Jonathan Allen, who I know you're a fan of, Brandon, I've seen his stock kind of fall. I mean, he has that shoulder injury where it's similar to Shaq Lawson's from last year, who was drafted in the first round of the Buffalo Bills, didn't play a snap.
But if Myles Garrett or Solomon Thomas is not there, would you take Jonathan Allen if you were the Titans?
If your main goal is defensive end, I don't know if I would, to be honest with you, because it is such a deep draft for pass rush, and they have that second first round pick that they can still grab.
And secondary too. There's so many DBs out there. Adams, Hooker, Lattimore. But San Francisco is in the same position. So many good defensive assets out there, but they really need offense, right?
Yeah, I mean, they don't really. I think Brian Hoyer might be their only quarterback, or some obscure veteran is on their team. And that's their only quarterback, I think, that they may have signed.
Well, they got Matt Barkley now, so the hometown kid.
Joy to the 49ers there. That's great for them. I mean, they really, outside of Carlos Hyde as an offensive weapon, they have Vance McDonald, who's a nice tight end piece to have. But, I mean, wide receivers, they're pretty thin. So who knows what they can do. That's why I would look for them to trade down and accrue more picks to kind of build that team up.
Yeah, they need to. They almost need to take the Cleveland Browns approach because they need so many weapons on offense. But honestly, right now, I wouldn't even look at quarterback, and I wouldn't stretch for a quarterback. Definitely not in the first round, and maybe not even in the second round, because if I'm okay with Brian Hoyer or Matt Barkley, because I'm just in the situation. So many teams think you need a really stud quarterback to have success, but when you're starting from in such a deep hole, forget the quarterback for a while. You got to give him weapons. You got to protect him, number one. Orlando, what do you think the 49ers should do?
Yeah, Brian Hoyer quarterback, he's not it's not the sexiest pick or the guy in the roster, but I'll take Brian Hoyer compared to what he's done in the past. So I know they need to address a lot of key positions on their team, and I know quarterback is what they want a lot, but I think Solomon Thomas said number 2. LA stay at number 2. Again, I think that would know more if they were to trade down. But if they were to stick with the number 2 pick, I do that they take Solomon Thomas. I just think he's just too much talent for them to pass up on.
Yep, I do think, Linda, they actually do end up keeping the pick and drafting probably Solomon Thomas, or maybe even one of those DBs like I mentioned. But I think they end up taking the pick and taking the better talent overall in the draft. But they do have a lot of work to do and definitely need help on the offensive side of the ball. I do believe that. So But good luck to your 49ers. We'll be keeping an eye on them and see what Kyle Shanahan can build up there out west. And good luck to them.